Come join Women Wednesdays with Lady Be Bless, an empowering podcast spotlighting women in leadership. A weekly look at some amazing women leaders, mentors, role models, change makers, community advocates, presidents, CEOs, executive directors, and boss ladies. These women are women that lead. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, streaming live, facebook.com/Lady Be Bless, youtube.com/Lady Be Bless.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome again to a wonderful, fabulous edition of Women Wednesday. And I am your host, Lady Be Bless. I am doing these shows to just spotlight some of the wonderful and fabulous women around us that's doing great things. Leadership, boss ladies, they're CEOs. As you know, it's the age of women leadership. And let's spotlight these women that's doing these wonderful and fabulous things, because empower women, empower other women. Today, I have a treat for you guys. I have a 4-time Olympian, track and field Olympian. She's so humble and so modest. As I read her bio, I got this sense of she's just like a normal person, although she's accomplished so much. Normally, a person would lead like, I'm an Olympian, but no, her bio says, I'm a singer, songwriter, a musician, and an Olympian. And I thought to myself, wow, that's amazing. You've made it to the Olympic Games 4 times, yet you're not leading with it. What humility. How can you be so humble about something so great? And it just shows that this is a wonderful, relaxing. I mean, I totally enjoy talking to her. She makes it, it's like talking to your sister girl. She's like my best friend in my imagination. You're like Oprah. She's up there with Oprah and Maya Angelou, because some people you have to keep at a certain level because they inspire you so much, So I'm gonna bring her on. Oh, I didn't even tell you her name. Dr. Sharrieffa Barksdale. How are you? I'm going to bring her on today. Hello, my darling.
How are you doing?
I'm so honored to have you here today.
I'm honored to be here, and thank you so much for having me on your platform. I'm grateful and blessed.
How could I not have you on my platform? The great and wonderful women that you are. And I was talking about your bio, how you didn't lead with you're an Olympian. And you think that would be something that most people would lead with. Like, hey, I went to the Olympics not once, not twice, not 3, but 4 times. 4 times. And yet she leads with, I'm a singer-songwriter. And yes, by the way, people, I am an Olympian. So, my dear, I don't want to do too much talking because it's your show. Hi, Cammie. Cammie is saying hi. I want to let you know your comments are at the right side of your screen. You should be able to see them. And also, when people come and comment, I'm going to pop them on the screen so you could reply. Okay. So everyone that's popping in and looking, hi, Irene. Good to see you too. Everyone is popping in. Let me tell you guys, I'm just in awe when I first was introduced to Dr. Sharrieffa at her accomplishment and all the things that she's doing. And not only that, she's helping people along the way. She's not keeping her talents, her knowledge, and her abilities to herself. She's out there literally working with people and helping them to accomplish their goals, even though she's retired. But we'll talk about that later. Let's get into how you got started. Who is Dr. Sharrieffa? How did you get started? Let's take it back. I think you started track and field in high school.
Yes.
So let's take it back to the high school level and move from there.
Yes.
Tell us about you.
Well, I got started in high school actually because of my brother. My brother was a big football star in high school, and he ran track. And I just remember growing up when we were little, my father was a brick mason. And he died when I was 9 years old at the age of 46 of a massive heart attack. So I remember him having, as I got older and was in high school, I remember him having 2x4s and cinder blocks and stuff like that. So I taught myself how to hurdle. So I put the 2 blocks on the side and put the 2x4, and I was just, taught myself how to hurdle. Well, in high school, my freshman year, I was in the band. And sometimes when one door closed, another door opened. So I played the flute and I played the trumpet, and I tried out for the drum major, and I was the first African-American drum major, and they haven't had one since I left school. So the next year it was time to try out again, and I didn't make it. And everyone was shocked that I didn't make it, make the drum major. So I'm like, I'm not going to let this hinder me. So I'm just going to stick with track, basketball, and cheerleader. So I did those, and I sang in our glee club choir and everything. But as track went on, I didn't do well my freshman year as a track athlete. Although I ran multiple events, I made it to the state my freshman year in the long jump, but not in the other events. So I just kept, trying and trying. And then when my brother received the scholarship to University of Tennessee, being the first true freshman to start as a freshman at the University of Tennessee, my dream was to go there with him at the University of Tennessee. But University of Tennessee, they didn't even look at me. The whole time I was in high school, they just did not look at me. So as I continued my track career in high school, there was a man by the name of Ralph Boston. And Ralph Boston was on the 1964 Olympic team and the 1968 Olympic team. And so he saw me compete at the state meet, and he said, you're from Harriman? I said, yes, sir. And he said, well, why don't you join Knoxville Track Club? It's only about 45 to 50 minutes drive. I said, well, I have to ask my mom. So he said, well, give me your telephone number. We will ask your mother. So he talked to my mother and said, Miss Barksdale said, you don't understand what you have here. You have a diamond in the rut. And so my mother said, you really think so, Mr. Boston? So he said, yes. So she said, well, I will try to get her there as many times as I can. So my mother, being a single mother with 5 of us living at our house, she sacrificed. And when I tell you, this lady sacrificed a lot for me to get up there to the University of Tennessee to train. And I will never forget my senior year, moving forward, my senior year, it was time for me to go to the state track meet, which I made it in the 100, the 200, the hurdles, the high jump, and the long jump. And I came home from school one day, and my idol was Wilma Rudolph.
Wait, you made it, or you won in those category?
Yes.
Okay, go back again. List all of those at one meet.
One meet.
You want? Okay, say it again. I think you list like 4 of them.
Okay, so I'm gonna back it up just a little bit. So before I even go back and tell you that, so when I came home I made it in the state meet in those events. I made it the 100, the 200, the hurdles, the high jump, and the long jump.
You won.
So I won
all 5 meets.
All 5 of those events in the regional track meet leading up to the state track meet.
Your first meet.
Yes.
Amazing.
And so what happened was I came home from school, and my idol was Wilma Rudolph. I mean, I just love Wilma Rudolph. So backing up to my freshman year, I went to the librarian, and I asked the librarian if she had a book on Wilma Rudolph. And so she said, silly child, why do you want a book on Wilma Rudolph? I said, because one day I'm going to be an Olympian. So she brushed it off. She didn't help me. And so I went, it took me about the whole time for me to look for Wilma Rudolph book. And so I found it, I went home and read it and everything, not knowing coming my senior year in high school, that when I came home from school, that there was my telephone rang and said, ring, 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 ring. And so I answered it. And on the phone, the lady said, is this Sharrieffa Barksdale? I said, yes, it is. She said, this is Wilma Rudolph. I said, get out of here. And I hung up the phone on Wilma Rudolph.
You didn't believe it?
No, I didn't believe it.
You're like, who's playing this prank on me?
Right. And I thought it was my girlfriend up the street. I said, she needs to be ashamed of herself, knowing how much that I love Wilma Rudolph and everything. So then the telephone rang again. It was Ralph Boston. He said, Sharrieffa. And I said, yes, sir. And so he said, why did you hang up the phone? I said, because it was my girlfriend up the street. He said, no, I have Wilma Rudolph on a three-way. So I said, get out of here. So, you know, back then they had those long cords. And so I was so excited that I done wrapped myself around the cord, and the cord was all around my neck, and I was gasping for air and everything. I said, there's no way that this is the Wilma Rudolph, my idol. And so she said, yes, it is a Sharrieffa. So she said, when you go to the state meet, just remember, have fun and do your events. Like that. So from then I was on cloud, not even 9,900. I was way up here on 1,000. I was way up there on 1,000. So then it was time for the track meet, which I went to the state, and I set the 100, the 200, and the hurdles and the long jump record. All of those 4 records still stand except for the 100 hurdles, because it was dash back then. It wasn't meters.
So you went to the second meet, right?
This is the state and final meet.
Okay, so you won the regional. First time you won the regional, and now you're on the state, and you set records in the state of Tennessee that still are records today. Because and about how many years ago was that?
So you're talking about in the 80s.
So no one has break your record.
No one will, well, because it was dash back then. We run meters, so those records will always stand.
Wow.
And I ended up winning by myself, a one-woman team winning the state meet by myself.
You did. So the hurdle, the long jump,
high jump,
the high jump,
and 200.
So you were the only one competing. You were the only woman. So the one-woman team, and you won all of them.
Yes.
And she goes, "Oh, I'm just an Olympian. Go ahead, Miss Modest."
So then after that, during that time, you know, Title IX wasn't that big, you know, and so no one was looking at me. No one was recruiting little Sharrieffa. But my goal was to not only go to University of Tennessee with my brother, but I wanted to go to Tennessee State, because Ed Temple was there. So Ed Temple never did recruit me. And Ralph said, I don't understand why this man is not recruiting you. And now, mind me, the girls that he signed, I beat them. I beat them in the finals at the state meet. So he ended up signing those girls. They signed the scholarship before we went to the state meet. So he didn't really have no use for another sprinter, because Julie Polian, she was a sprinter, and Cheryl Pennell, those were the top athletes coming out of Memphis, Tennessee. So he ended up signing them. So there was this one college, Old Dominion, and I also play basketball. So Old Dominion offered me a basketball and a track scholarship in college. So
what did you ever find out why he never signed you?
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm waiting, girl, because you know I'm like, what?
So then after, when Coach Dr. Gibson, who is still in my life to this day, we have been on every international track team. He came down to my home, and he was getting ready to sign me my letter of intent to go to Old Dominion. Well, before I can actually sit down, we was, you know, chit-chatting, talking. He was talking to my mom and everything. But before I can sign that letter of intent, my telephone rang. It was like deja vu.
University of Tennessee.
It was University of Tennessee. and she said, Sharrieffa, we want to offer you a scholarship. And I mean, I couldn't even talk. And I said, is this a joke? Are you serious? She said, this is Terry Crawford. And I know how Terry sounds because I heard her. So I knew that wasn't a joke. It was really Terry Crawford. So she said, I said, well, is it a full scholarship? And because Old Dominion was giving me a full scholarship, she said, no, ma'am, it's not a full scholarship. It's a partial scholarship. She said, but you can work your way up to a full scholarship. So I'm like, I'm going to Tennessee because that's where my brother's at. I do not care. So I called my mother in the kitchen. And so I said, Mama, I mean, I'm telling you, I was like almost in tears. I'm like, guess who's on the phone? She said, who? She said, you need to get in here and sign this scholarship because I ain't got no money to pay for you to go to school. So I'm like, Mama, this is University of Tennessee, the University of Tennessee where Val goes to school. They offer me a scholarship. She said, girl, get out of here. Get out of here. She said, Sheree, because that's what she got. She said, Sheree, are you for real? Are you? I said, Mama, this is her. Like that. And so I said, but there's only one catch. It's only a partial scholarship. She said, girl, you better go to Old Dominion where it's a full. I said, Mom, I got this. I said, I got this. I said, believe if you don't believe anything else, I got this. So I had to go in there. She said, well, it's your decision, Sharrieffa. So I said, so I went in there and I hated to break the news to Dr. Gibson. I said, Dr. Gibson, I won't be signing with you because University of Tennessee just offered me a scholarship. So being the type of man that he is, he said, Barksdale, I understand. He said, because I had to choose between Old Dominion and University of Tennessee, I will choose University of Tennessee. He said, I'm going to miss you. He said, because you could have added so much to our team and everything. And I felt really bad. I mean, I really did. So
he understood.
He understood. So then after I signed with University of Tennessee, guess who come knocking at my door?
I can't even imagine.
It was a day late and $1 short. Tennessee Tiger Bell.
So who was that?
Ed Temple at Tennessee State wanted to sign me after I signed.
Really?
Yes, after I signed with University of Tennessee.
A day late.
A day late and $1 short. And Ralph said, I can't believe this. He was just, because, you know, he went to college there and he was my mentor. He's my godfather. He's been in my life ever since my freshman year in college. And we talk every single day. And Coach Temple ended up making me an honorary Tiger Bell 2 years before he passed away.
Wow.
We did a big celebration, coaching celebration for him, and the Tiger Bell, Chandra Cheeseborough, all of them, they made me an honorary Tiger Bell. And I told them, and I always would tell the story when Chandra Cheeseborough, that was one of my idols. So my freshman year, I got to tell you this, my freshman year was my first time ever running on a big stage. So we went to East Tennessee State, Johnson City, for an indoor track meet. So now this is after I done signed with Tennessee. So my freshman year, we go to East Tennessee State. So guess who walks in? All the Tiger Bells. So I'm over here just looking, I'm like, oh my God, this is the Tiger Bells. I'm like, freaking out. And like when I get real nervous like that and compete, I break out into hives. So my skin started itching. So my skin started itching. So I'm like, calm down. This is just Tennessee State Tiger Bells like this. So then Terry Crawford had put me in the 60 meters. So you had to go through your rounds to make it to the finals. So I made it to the finals, to the final round. But in the finals, I saw Chandra Cheeseborough standing there, and she was warming up. She was doing this, she was doing that, she was stretching and all this kind of stuff. And I said, oh my God, that's Chandra Cheeseborough, because she made the Olympic team at age 16.
Oh, really?
She was one of the youngest Olympian at age 16. So I go over there to her, and here I am walking over there like this. And I said, I put my hands on my hip. I said, hey, are you Chandra Cheeseborough? And so she was shaking out. She said, yes. She said, I said, well, I'm getting ready to beat you in this 60.
What did she say? I know she's like, who is this?
She said, okay. And so she was still stretching and stuff. So she said, okay. I said, okay. So we get in the blocks. I would never get to as long. So because she had the fastest time, they had Chandra in the middle. And I will never forget, I was in like lane 6 or 7. I was over here, and then they had what you call it. So when the gun went off, I was so nervous. Oh my God, I was so nervous. I said, I gotta concentrate. So when the gun went off, whoo, honey, I took dead last, and my coach sent me home. Chandra Jones, she beat me, huh? She dusted me, girl. I was never so embarrassed.
I wasn't expecting that. All the mouth that you went up to there with, and you lost.
I lost because I said, "Oh, I'm getting ready to beat you today. You child cheese girl."
Against an Olympian who went to the Olympic at age 16. Okay.
And that's just how bold I was. So if you didn't make it, if we went to track meet, was like maybe an hour, 2 hours. If you didn't make it, you went home that night. So I loaded up that night. Right. I loaded up my stuff and went on home, not knowing that Chandra Cheeseburger was going to move to Knoxville, Tennessee. So now I'm out of college and everything. Because the story would be too long. I'm moving forward to I'm going to move to 1982. So I never ran the 400 meter hurdles. I ran the 110 hurdles because when I was recruited as a 100 meter hurdler. So we had Benita Fitzgerald Mosley, who is a 2-time gold medalist Olympian. And Terry had Joetta Clark, Lisa Walton Myra. She had all these big name athletes. And so I will never forget, she called me in. And so she said, Sharrieffa, she said, you're good, but you're not where we want you to be in the 100 hurdles. So she said, because you run the 400, we're going to move. Now, this is 1982. And the Olympics, I went there because I was thinking I'm going to make the Olympic team. So
I was still in primary school. I was still in grammar school.
So, oh my gosh. And so now this was in 82. So Terry called me in. And so just think, if I didn't have the right attitude,
right,
he would have told me, we're gonna move you to the 400 meter hurdles, which I never heard of the 400 meter hurdles, because 1984 was the first time they even implemented the 400 meter hurdles in the Olympic Games.
Wow.
So in 1982, in 1981, after I was there and I did great, and I made so many teams, All-American stuff, she honored me and gave me a full ride. So that's how I ended up getting a full ride at University of Tennessee.
So that's when the full scholarship came in.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So it actually came in outdoors of 1981 when we went down to University of Texas and we won the AIAW national championship. So we won by 2 points against UCLA, Bobby Kersey and Jackie Jordan Kersey and all them UCLA team. So after the national championship we won, she gave me a full scholarship.
Wow.
Yeah. So now back to 1982. So she said, so I was practicing and she said, I'm gonna send you, we're going for our spring break to Cal Berkeley. So she said, Sharrieffa, she said, I already have some 400 meter hurdlers, but you're going to run, but you're not going to be the one to score for us. You're just running for fun. So she just wanted to try me out for me to run for fun.
Okay.
And so.
Did she say that because she didn't expect you to win, or she just felt that you just wanted the exercise or something?
No, she just wanted to see, because when she put me in the 400 meter hurdles, I never ran before. I never ran with me. So she just wanted me.
Hey, I see. Is that your cat?
My dog.
Dog.
So actually my son. So she didn't want me to score because she had other 400 meter hurdlers in front of me.
Oh,
so
okay.
Me being the type of person I am, I function better when my back is up against the wall. So I said, okay, she's not going to score me. That's okay. I'm going here. I'm getting ready to show them. I'm getting ready to win. So I go out there and I win.
Really?
And by me winning, because see, she just put me in there. She put me in there, but she didn't think I was going to score. But by me winning, what does that do? Knock out the ones that's supposed to score points. So we end up losing the whole entire meet because I won the 400 meter.
See, there you go.
Yes. So now it's time for the Olympics. It's time for the.
Okay.
So during that time, I done set I set so many records during that time. I set the American record. I was the first woman to go under 55 seconds in the history of the women 400-meter hurdles. And that will never be broken because I was the first one to go under 55, which I set the American record at 54.90, which the girls are running 54.90 at this. 54.90 could get me in the finals of the Olympic Games if I was to run today. So now it's time for me to get ready for the Olympics. So let me remind you, I went up there to Chandra Cheeseborough and told her that I was going to beat you.
Right. Yes.
So Chandra moved to Tennessee, and Ralph Boston, who is my godfather, ended up coaching her at University separate from University of Tennessee because she was already out of college, so she was getting ready for the Olympics. We became good friends and I ended up moving in with her.
Really?
So, yes. So we're best friends to this day. After all these years, we're best friends. So now we're getting ready for the Olympic trials. And I said, Chandra, I said, girl, we're not coming back to Knoxville. I said, we need to pack our clothes. We're going to make this Olympic team. I said, we need to pack our bag so we can go to Europe right after the Olympic Games, because if you make the Olympic team, you go straight to Europe right after. So she said, that's right, Barksdale, because they call me Barksdale. So I said, let's make this team. So 6 weeks before the Olympic Games, Benita Fitzgerald and I both strained our hamstrings 6 weeks before the Olympic Games. Yes, we strained our hamstring. And so we had to go to physical therapy, to the chiropractor. We got so much work done on it. And I had to wear a sleeve actually on my hamstring because it was like pins throbbing in my hamstring. So now it's time it's time to go to the Olympic trials. So I'm like, oh, Jesus, this is it. So remember I told you that I get really sick and break out and stuff like that. So by this time, honey, my face is all broke out into hives, my whole body, I'm throwing up and everything. So now it's time for me to come out of the tunnel. So I'm walking down and I'm ready. I'm like, I got to make this team. I have to make this. This is what I've been working for. Now, I did it in 2 years. So because I ran the 400-meter hurdle. So we get to the line and I just get so sick till I throw up. So now this is on TV. So they have to hold up the meat because I'm throwing up. So now everybody's mad at me because I'm throwing up and we could have been finished with the race. So now we get in the blocks and everything. So they say, runners, take your mark, get set, go. So now we're going. I'm like, this is it. So they had me picked to win because I was ranked number 1 in the United States, and they had Judy Brown number 2 and Lori McCullough coming in 3rd. Never believe the hype on any of that because whoever show up that given day, that's who's going to make that Olympic team, no matter what they have you ranked.
Right.
Don't even buy that. So as we were coming around, I saw Judy Brown, which is Clark now. She was pulling ahead of me, and I could see her because she was on the end. She was in lane 5. I was in. Lori McCullough was in lane 6. I was in lane 7. No, let's see. She was in 5. Angela Wright was in 6, and Lori McCullough was in 7, and I was in 8. One of those lanes. So here we go. We're running. So Judy crosses the finish line, and then all of a sudden I see Angela Wright coming up beside me, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to make the team. So she came in 2nd, and then all of a sudden Lori McCullough and we leaned at the tape, and it seemed like it took them for 20 or 30 minutes to see who made the team. And because my torso was a lot bigger than Lori, I outleaned her.
I made the team.
And so and I was just sitting on the track. I was just so nervous and stuff, and my legs were shaking and everything. And when I saw Sharrieffa Barksdale, girl, let me tell you something.
Your whole body exploded.
Yeah, I jumped up and I turned cartwheels, and girl, I was just screaming all over the place. That was besides having my children, that was the most experience I have never experienced in my whole entire life
Life.
to make that
Wow.
Olympian team, because I remember a librarian telling me, silly girl, you will never make that team. So
You
my
see?
thing to everyone out there, no matter how old you are, young, whatever it is that you want to do in life, never let anyone tell you that you can't. You won't.
Yes.
You will not, because
Yes.
can and no isn't in your vocabulary. It's only in the book that you read. I was determined not to let nobody stand in my way on that given day, because God gave me a talent. I worked hard and I perfected that. And that's the reason why I am the person that I am today.
Wow. I'm like, I have hives, right? It's like I have goosebumps. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Yes. So that's how I
congratulations. I mean, and I tell people it's all in you.
yes,
Everything that you want to accomplish in this world,
it's in
it's in you.
it's in
And when someone tell you you cannot, that's a reflection of them knowing that they cannot.
that's right.
It
That's right.
has nothing to do with you.
Nothing to do with
Live your dreams. People reflect on you what they believe of themselves.
you. Yes, yes,
Aww.
yes.
Wow. I'm blown away. It's like I'm speechless. And so first time at the Olympic, like we're gonna fast forward. We're at the 30-minute mark and I want to get your video in.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Oh, let's speak to our audience. Hi, Clarissa. Hi, Irene. Hi, Kay. Hi, Cami. Hi, everyone that has it locked in. They're like
Yes,
amazing
hello.
testimony, amazing determination, good to believe in yourself. Awesome, awesome,
Thank you
awesome,
all.
amazing. Yeah, she is an amazing woman. But wait, the amazing will come. You guys stay tuned. So let's just finish up 4 rounds to that was your first time at the Olympic, and then you did it like 4 more years in a row, or they skipped a couple years.
So what happened is, so that was the Olympic Games. So in 1986, they had a team that was called the Goodwill Games. And the Goodwill Games was going to be held in Moscow.
Yes, yes.
I had prepared for it. I was ranked number 1 in the United States at that time. I was on a roll. So when we got into the starting block, it was at Eugene, Oregon, Haywood Field. We get in the starting blocks, and only thing I could hear, I'm coming around, and I'm 15 meters. Get it now? I'm 15 meters ahead of everybody. So I'm getting ready to go over the last hurdle. And I hear the announcer say, Barksdale is getting ready to break the world record. So I lost focus listening to him. And as I came over the last hurdle, I fell. I fell. So as I was trying, seemed like it was just going in slow motion. You know how you be dreaming and you can't get away from somebody? It was like I just couldn't get up. I was so shocked that I had plenty of time to get up and actually win. But by the time that it hit me that I had fallen, by the time I got up, other 3 girls passed me, and I ended up coming in 4th, but I missed the Goodwill game by 1 spot. So knowing what strong person I am, I let that totally defeat me. It broke me. It broke me down. So, and every time I talk about it, I do get emotional, because that really ended 1986 ended my career.
Wow.
I went back and I tried to come back for 88, but it just wasn't, I just didn't have the love for it like I did in passionate for it. So I never watched track and field, any Olympic Games, anything from 1988 all the way. Didn't know any of these athletes to 2000.
Really?
I didn't even want to hear about it. I didn't want to hear who was doing what. I shut down and cut my life totally off with track and field. Now, I'm with my ex-husband at that time because he was my coach in 1986. So now I just left. I'm no more of track and field. So the things I was going through with my ex-husband, I just can't do this. So I'm still with my ex-husband, But I'm like, Lord, I went to the closet and I had to pray. I got on my knees and I prayed. And it's so emotional because it seems like it's a void that I have not been able to get over to this day. So I said, Lord, if you just let me be a part of USA Track and Field and give back to these athletes the way it was given to me, I will serve them the way that you will want me to serve them. So in 2000, I was offered a coaching job at Kentucky State University, HBCU school. When I got there, I ended up going to a conference for USA TF Track and Field. And my coach, Terry Crawford, and Dr. Gibson, who was at Old Dominion, recommended me that I would be on the 2004 junior team in Grosseto, Italy. God answered my prayer, and he gave me that opportunity to give back to the athletes. So I started on the junior teams. And from then I was on every team because I served those athletes the way they needed to have been served. So I ended up being the manager for the 2008 Olympic team, 2012, 2016. So that's how you get four-time Olympian, because I was the manager for those teams. And the athletes, I'm the last person that the athletes see before they go on the track.
Wow.
And every last one of them that comes to me, come through me, and I check their bag, make sure that they mentally ready.
Because now you know
that's
how
right.
important it is to stay focused during your run.
Because what had happened to me. So I'm so thankful and I'm so humble and so blessed that God gave me the opportunity to be a part of the United States Olympic team in that capacity, and also be a part of USATF as the senior alumni manager, relationship manager. So I deal with over, oh my God, I won't say everyone that has made the Olympic team, World Championship team, that's a part of USATF. I come in, I deal with them. I deal with them on all kind of things, and whether people want them to come in speed. We do run, jump, and throw. We just do so much with alumni with USATF.
Wow. What an amazing story. And now you're in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, ma'am.
University of Tennessee Hall of Fame. I want to be like you when I grow up. I better start running some track, right?
Thank you, Irene. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, Irene. Thank you. Yes. Yes, Sharice, Clarissa, Sharice, Clarissa. Thank you so much. But her story doesn't even stop there. There's more to it. So I'm going to show a video.
Okay.
And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about this video. All right?
Okay, sounds great.
All right, here we go.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
To all the women who's been through domestic violence and who have survived,
All the women.
just know that God gave us praying hands.
Just know God gave us praying hands.
We have a new person here with us today. Meet Terry.
Trey hit me again. I just don't know what I did this time.
Terry, you didn't do anything wrong. Look, ladies, you need to put a stop to this.
But I love my man.
Is love supposed to hurt you?
Keisha, look at you.
How long are you gonna keep letting him do this to you?
He said this was his last time.
My man said the same thing 2 weeks ago. Ladies, we have to walk away. I've been listening to this new song called Strong Women.
By Sharifah, right?
Yeah.
I swear that song been giving me so much strength. It's just, I don't know why I can't leave.
Ladies, let's take a breather. Let's go home, listen to the song, and walk away this time. You're better than this.
We are strong women with God's praying hands. We are strong.
Hey, baby.
Why are you drinking?
What'd I tell you about questioning me, huh?
You know what? I'm not doing this with you today.
Where you think you going?
I told you I'm not doing this with you.
Yo, get your ass in the car. Yeah, walk. Hey, yo, if I tell you to do some shit, you do it.
No matter what we go through.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Get your ass home. Get your ass home.
If we reach out to Him, He will see us through. See us through. He will see us through. We are strong women.
Where you been? I said where you been.
I heard you. I'm done with this shit, Tony.
Done with what?
Us.
So you leaving?
Yeah, I am actually. My brothers are coming in the morning. I'm not doing this shit anymore.
We are strong women. Our soul is set free. Set free.
Who that?
John from work, he don't want nothing.
Why you calling me late?
I don't know.
Why you pick up?
Cause I'm with you.
Call him back.
I said no.
They tried to break us. They tried to beat us down. We survived domestic violence. And look at us now. Look at us now.
You want some drinking tonight? No. Why don't you hold on to that? Step outside the car for a minute.
This is some bullshit, man.
I know.
Why y'all pull me over for?
Make sure you don't have nothing on you, sir.
Why y'all pull me over for?
For your own safety, sir. For your own safety. You gotta call by this time.
We are strong women with God's praying hand.
Seems to be the problem, sir.
What's up, man?
You gotta call by the disturbance.
This what we doing?
Make sure everybody's okay, sir. Can you stand up for a second?
Hey, man. Talk to my woman.
Stand up for a second.
You call the police on me? That's what the fuck we doing?
All right, now, sir.
This what you doing? Let's go.
All right.
This what you doing to me?
It doesn't have to be like
all I do for you.
We got praying hand and stop this abuse, emotional, mentally, physically, and sexually abused. But they say they love you, abuse. Yeah, you call this love? We are strong women with God's praying hand. We are strong women. The victory's in our strong. We are strong. We are strong. God's praise. Strong women. We got praying hand and stop this abuse.
Stop domestic violence.
Let's stop domestic violence.
Stop domestic violence.
Stop domestic violence.
Stop domestic violence.
Strong, eh?
Yes, yes, yes.
Strong message.
Yeah, I really hope that people out there that's going through domestic violence will listen to the message, because it is a strong message. And the song, I was asleep, and the song just came to me. The words just came to me. And I'm like, I gotta get up and I gotta write this down. So as I was writing the song, mommy, God gave this to me because the song just fell in place. And I'm like, how am I gonna get this song out? And Justin Gatlin, Olympian Justin Gatlin, we have a program called Born to Be Elite in Cape Town, South Africa. But in the meantime, I was traveling to Johannesburg. And I met this musician, this producer in Johannesburg. I laid some tracks down for him. And he hit me up and said, the song is playing in the club. And I was like, oh my God, I was just like really tripping. So that was that was in 2018. And I said, I know who I can get to produce this song. So he said, well, I have 3 or 4 songs of music. With beats and stuff. He says, see if you like any of these. So I don't have a studio. I don't have any of that. So I listened to it. I went into the bathroom and I had 3 iPhones trying to record everything and stuff like that. So I did. And so we worked on it for about 2 months to lay it and everything. And I was in the bathroom. He would send it back. I would send it back. We say, take this out, take that out. And it just came together. And I said, I have to have a powerful video for this. And my daughter, Gentelle Cherie, who is an actress out there in LA, she said, I got this. And so she brought all of the actors and actresses out there that's been on so many shows. Wow. In fact, Burley Mack is getting ready, the movie, The United States versus Billie Holiday. It plays on February the 26th on Hulu. And it's Lee Daniel project. He took time out of his busy schedule because he knew how important this was to Gentelle to give his time to this project. And you had other actors and actors that also did the same thing, and they didn't want anything to do this because they knew it was a powerful message. And so for that, I'm blessed and I'm grateful. But to have Rose Green, who I met Rose like at a pin relay track meet in the middle of the field. I didn't know Rose was a music producer. I didn't know that she had a record company and everything. And we started talking and everything. And so she said, I can do something with it. So if it wasn't for her believing in this project and signing me up to do this project on her record label, no one would have known that Sharifah could sing. No one would have known that Sharifah went through domestic violence because the video is based on my life. Wow. And Hollywood saw the video and they saw the interviews and stuff and they contacted me. So now we're working on a movie about my life story. Hey! So look at
so now we're gonna have our Hollywood actress
So look at God. God is just so amazing. And you know, the Bible said, knock, knock, and you shall find, seek, seek, and the door should be open. And ask and you will receive. When I don't ask God for anything for me. I just asked him to use me the way you want me to represent you, Father God. And that's what he has done. And to be in the domestic violence marriage that I was in for 20 years. People say 20. People say, oh, it's so easy to get out. No, it's not. You have to really hit rock bottom, and you're going to have to say enough is enough is enough is enough. And have I had enough? So when it comes to my children, I had to choose. Is it going to be him or is it going to be them? And I chose my children, and look at us now. We're blessed. My daughter got a master's degree, graduated from college. My son throws the javelin. He played football. He graduated. So I'm blessed and to have instilled God into their life, because without God, we can't do nothing. We're nothing without this man, because I had to, after I got my divorce, I've been divorced for 16 years and never remarried or any of that, because I'm focused on what it is that God wants me to do and my children. So we as human beings, we don't listen to our inner voice and our gut feeling. We want to do what we want to do. But if we stop, sit back and listen to God's voice, because every voice we hear is not God. You have to be still and wait on God and let God order your footsteps. And so that's what I have done, because I'm 60 years old now as of February 16th.
60 what?
60, yes.
Wait, hold up. Are you serious? Let's get a close up.
Yes,
60.
60.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Gracie said, congratulations.
Thank you so much. And so I had to sit back and not rush into things and just wait until I know it's the right move, because God is not going to lead us down the wrong path. And I know Rose brought me, she brings me into what is it called? Clubhouse. And I talk to women about abuse, but we can talk until we blue in the face. People have talked to me until they was blue in the face, but I kept on saying, oh, I'm going to leave. But then you would come in and sweet talk me and tell me, oh, baby, it's going to change and change. But every time it never changed. And I knew when I was in Grosseto, Italy, remember I told you that was my first team that I made back in 2004. And my ex-husband supposed to be keeping our children, but he gave them to the grandmother, to my mother, and they was all the way in Tennessee. Here we are living in Lexington, Kentucky. And I'm like, Father God, over there, I'm like, this is it. I can't do this anymore. I just cannot do this anymore. So I ended up leaving a day early. And the whole time from Grosseto, Italy, to back to the United States, I prayed. And I said, Father God, I'm ready for you to show me what I need you to show me. I'm ready. This is it. I'm at my rock bottom. I can't do it anymore, because I was losing my hair. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I was just emotionally, mentally drained. And when I tell you drained, and the toxic that was all over my body, it was unbelievable. So he granted me my wish. So I came home a day early. Kids in Tennessee. So when I tried to get in touch with my ex-husband, couldn't get in contact with him to pick me up from the airport. So I had to catch a taxi cab. And in my body, I knew that this was it. So I drove up. We had just bought this house. So I pulled up to the house, and I saw my garage door open just a little. I saw two vehicles in there. I get out of the car, and you know how the house settled in and stuff squeaks? Well, the front door was squeaking before I left, and so it squeaked a little. So I put my stuff in the grass, paid the taxi cab man. He went on, and I said, dear God, this is it. I said, I know this is it. And I said, I'm ready for whatever it is that you're going to show me. So that door did not squeak. When I tell you that door did not squeak, it did not squeak. I walked in, and we had steps that went up this way. And if you go this way, it was our bedroom going around the corner. I opened up the door because the door was cracked. Opened the door. He was there in bed with a woman. You know what? I wasn't even hurt. The old
You're probably
Sharrieffa,
just relieved.
yes, the old Sharrieffa would have been in jail without no bail. But this calmness came because I know how I am. God brought this calmness over me. And when I sing that, I said, because they were asleep, I cleared my throat. They waking up all delirious. I could have
And you were
killed them.
like,
Yeah, this is it. I saw what I needed to see. Because, sometimes people think that, you got to really see. You got to really open up your eyes and see. Because, once you think you saw something or that you saw something, that man is going to come in. This is not what you see. And you saw it, but you still don't believe him. So it wasn't nothing else to do. So I said, you need to get out. You all need to really get out. So they get in their car. I didn't do nothing. I just stand there. I just stood there. I just stood there. And then I started walking because I didn't have a vehicle. I started walking. He started chasing me with this car. This is it. I went down the next day and talked to the judge because I knew the judge, all the judges. I knew everybody because I worked with ex-offenders. Helping them rebuild their lives coming out of the prison. I love that job. Loved it because it was just so gratifying to know that I helped.
You give so much, and yet you are in this relationship that was taking so much out of you.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Yet you were given so much.
Yeah, and I love to give. That's my nature. I rather give than have someone give me. And someone said, they texted me because I did a drawing on my birthday and I gave away a trip from Southwest and I gave 2 Visa $60 gift card to represent my birthday. And someone said, you're supposed to be receiving gifts on your birthday, but
right?
Yet, you thinking of others to give to others. And that's what I am because that's just the make of me is to give. I don't care if anybody never gives me anything. I'm happy. I'm happy about giving. And if I can touch someone's lives or give something to somebody, I'm blessed. That's my blessing.
Yes. I think sometimes we reach a place in our lives where we're content with ourselves, especially women. As we get older,
yes,
we find this calmness within ourselves. Like you're damn if you do and you're damn if you don't.
That's right.
And it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just get up and I'm just happy.
Just happy. And I'm so blessed because when I when I was in that toxic marriage, when I pulled up to the door, I would just get my stomach would just ache. And, after 15 years, it took a long time for me to get over this and to even really talk about it because it takes a lot of healing. You don't heal overnight. You just don't heal overnight. And when I drive up to my home, and I see all the labor that I've done, I'm peaceful. I'm happy to turn that knob. I don't have to be nervous and wonder if somebody drunk gonna come in and start beating me and we're fighting all up in the house and stuff like that. Nah.
A peace of mind. A peace of mind.
And that's what it's all about is a peace of mind. And
it's the greatest gift.
It's the greatest
you can give yourself.
Yes, it's a peace of mind.
The gift of love. And a gift of your peace of mind.
Right. That's right.
The greatest gifts you could give yourself.
Yeah, right. It's a peace. I mean,
it keeps you young. You see, 60 and looking like you're 30.
It keeps you young because if I would have stayed in there, it's no telling. Actually, to tell you the honest truth, and any of my friends that knew about the relationship, they didn't know when they was going to get a call to say Sharrieffa was dead.
Wow.
If I would have stayed in there, I guarantee you I wouldn't have lived to tell this story. See, It's just like in life. You have a beginning, you have a middle, and you have a ending. Don't ever give anyone that pencil or that pen to write your story because they can't write it and tell it the way you can. So nobody can tell my story the way I can tell it because I lived it. I lived it day in and day out for 20 years, brainwashed. And a lot of people say, well, how couldn't those girls escape from being kidnapped and what you call it? Easy said and done. Get in that situation when you got somebody telling you they're gonna kill your family, they're gonna kill your children, they're gonna take your children, they're gonna be drowned in the river and stuff like that. Nah. I'm blessed.
Wow. What a story. I want to be at that premiere when Hollywood premieres their movie.
Yes. It's gonna
definitely
It's gonna be powerful. It's gonna they writing the script now. It's gonna because it took me as 20. I wrote 28 chapters, and so they're doing the script, and I really had to take myself to some dark places. And my daughter, she was like, "This is just so unbelievable. This is just this. I just can't."
Your kids really didn't know what was going on.
They didn't, because I didn't tell them. They had to see for themselves. So you have to see how he is for real. So they saw, and they moved on, and we are so happy. We're very close. We talk 10, 15, 20 times a day. They're respectful young lady and young man. They're just genuine, good human being, and that's what you want. That's what you want to be, a good human being.
Yeah. At the end of the day, be a good human.
That's right.
Aw, I'm so like in awe. Friends for life.
Yes.
Yes. I'm not letting you go. Friends for life. I'm gonna hold on to her. This is your encouragement. It rubs off. I'm so encouraged, and you just don't know the things that I'm encouraged to do more. I mean, I do a lot, but I'm encouraged to do more, to help. I love helping people. Go ahead.
And you know what? It goes back to the Bible. When God gave 5 people a certain amount of talent, he gave 1, 2 talent, 1, 3, 4, 5, however many talent. But the one that he gave the least talent to, he didn't do anything with that talent. Everyone in this world has some type of talent. You either use it or you lose it. Whether it's helping someone, no matter what, and that's what I don't understand, people. Yes, you may be older, but there's something out there that you can do. Right. You can do, just make, if you want to go back to school,
do it.
They have online. Don't let your significant other tell you, oh, you think you this because you want to go back to school. Don't let your friends tell you this because you want to do this and you want to buy this and you want to do this. And it's just like a school bus or a car. You driving it, and you have all these people on your bus, and this chitter chatter, negative. You know what you have to do on that bus, because they flatten down your tire. You got to pull that bus over, put them off. And then if they decide that they want to get with the program, then you can circle back around and pick them up. But for right now, baby, I got to put you off. It's nothing personal. Right. But you're, and then you have, and I'm going to end this up. Then you have friends that will just drain you with their problems. And it's okay to listen to their problem, but if they just keep on draining you, and you know that it's draining you, you got to cut it loose. It's too much. And that's what I had to do with one of my friends. I love her to death, but every time that she would call, it was nothing good. So you have, and when I told her, you have to get out of that situation. If you want something better, it's the same cycle over and over and over and over. I don't want to hear it. And I'm a nice person, but I'm an upfront person. And if you don't want to know the truth, don't ask Sharifah, because I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna keep it 100% real, because that's all I know to do. And my brother, God bless his soul, he died of pancreatic cancer, and he was telling people, if you want to know the truth, if you don't want to know the truth, don't ask Sharifah, because Sharifah gonna keep it 100% real, because that's all I know to do is keep it for real, because I'm not fake. Only thing that's fake about me is maybe the weave that I put in my hair, but no fake fingernails, nothing else is fake about me. It's just the hair that I wear, and it's my hair.
As if you buy it, it's yours. I love your spirit. I could talk to you all day. African Hope Comedians, you see the comment on the program, have a program coming up for Africa Hope Comedian. It's for the CSW, which is the United Nations Commission on the Status of the Women. And they want to know if you'll be available on the 23rd to empower them. I think the event is 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
The 23rd of March.
Yeah, March is Women Month, so we'll be doing a lot of programs during Women Month. And this one is investing, mentoring your young women and young girls in various leadership positions through STEM programs, lesson learned by powerful women in agribusiness, education, health, entrepreneurship, engineering, culture, and the sports arena. So they want to know if you'll be available March 23rd at 10 a.m. And this is going to be joined the Commission on the Status of Women 65.
Go ahead. Hey, like I said, I love to give. Go ahead, put me in.
Okay, so I'm going to give them all your contact info and have them send you a letter of invite.
Yes, ma'am.
So to be there, it's 1,000 African Women Network, and I'm a member of 1,000 African Women Network.
I would be so honored to do this. I would, because if I can help one or two people, then I say that I did what I was supposed to do on this earth. So I would be so appreciative and so honored. And you know what? Lady, be blessed. I love you. I thank you. And I appreciate you for giving me this opportunity to be on your platform.
Thank you for being on my platform. I thank you for giving me the honor of your presence on my platform. My goodness. I love this woman.
I love you too. Thank you so much. And thank you, ladies and men that's out there that's watching the show. I am grateful for you watching, spending your time with us, because you could have been doing something else, but yet and still you took the time to listen to me and my story. And for that, I am so humble and grateful.
Thank you so much. I thank you for taking this hour with us. I could talk to you forever, but I know we are all busy women, and I appreciate you taking out this time for me. You're welcome to come back Women Wednesday anytime. Like I said, I'll send you the information from CSW and African Hope Community, 1,000 African Women Network, and we'll get you on their program. I'm so excited about that.
I'm excited too. Thank you so much.
Yay! That's what it's all about, connections, making connections. And if anyone's listening, you want to be on the show, just let me know. I'm going to interview you guys. I mean, my calendar is booked until May.
Girl, you wrote it.
But I can squeeze people in if anyone has to reschedule, then I keep people on the standby list for it. Once again, Dr. Sharrieffa Barksdale, thank you so much.
And
it was a pleasure.
So love, bless, happiness, and be safe. Thank you.
To have you on the show. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone. I'll see you guys next week, Wednesday, for another edition of Women Wednesday. We have none other than LaSalle Chambers, who's going to be with us. She's an entrepreneur and a go-getter. So I look forward to having her next week. Thank you, everyone, for joining us again. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time in the most important hour of hip-hop for the Ike Jackson Report podcast. Available Sundays weekly and the Ike Jackson Report podcast daily. Available weekdays for engaging, serious hip-hop political commentary. Available now on Anchor FM, Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon. Engage. Stream serious conversation. Stream the Ike Jackson Report podcast now. Ike Jackson presents the Re-Up series. Re-Up, Re-Up 2, a prequel, and Re-Up 3, The Promised. Follow the incredible adventures of Simone, a single mother assassin trying to get out of the killing game. Will her daughter's life be enough to cash out? Download the Re-Up series novels, audiobooks, and screenplays now at barnesandnoble.com, walmart.com, and digital outlets everywhere. The Lady Be Blessed Humanitarian Foundation is a USA IRS registered 501c3 public charity. Our mission is to actively and effectively engage in promoting human and social welfare with no prejudice against human suffering on the grounds of gender, sexual orientation, religious, or national divisions. Our main goal is to save lives, relieve suffering, and maintain human dignity. Donate now to support our work. PayPal.me/TLBBH Foundation or cash.app/$TLBBH Foundation. Come join Women Wednesdays with Lady Be Blessed, an empowering podcast spotlighting women in leadership. A weekly look at some amazing women leaders, mentors, role models, change makers, community advocates, presidents, CEOs, executive directors, and boss ladies. These women are women that lead. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, streaming live, facebook.com/Lady Be Blessed, youtube.com/Lady Be Blessed. Let us help you win in business. MXZT Digital Tech Solutions. We help small businesses get online with business class website builders, managed WordPress platforms, domain name registration, web hosting, hosted email, e-commerce, and online stored solutions. Our 24/7, 365 support is always available at mxztdigital.com. MXZT Digital Tech Solutions. We help small businesses. Visit us online today.